Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Neil and welcome to something a little different for the channel. If you haven't noticed on YouTube the last week, YouTube's kind of been going crazy over these tier list things, and I believe it started with iDubbbz when he ranked a bunch of fast food restaurants in a tier list from S to F. Now, I thought this would be a lot of fun to do with BeamNG cars, so you know what? We're gonna do it. There's gonna be a lot of hot takes in this video, so if you're really into BeamNG Drive and some of my decisions here really make you mad, I apologize, but it's what I think. And I don't have a script or anything. This is just off the top of my head. So this video is going to probably be very unorganized, but it's just my thoughts flowing out into a video. So I hope you guys enjoy, and let's get straight into this. So I'm actually going to get my two most probably controversial choices out of the way real quick. And the first choice is going to be the Bolide here, which is actually going to go into the F tier. Now you're wondering why. It's an 80s supercar. That's awesome. It's one of the OG vehicles in BeamNG Drive. Well, here's the thing. It's an 80s supercar, but it is basically every variant of this vehicle is fairly impossible to control, and it can get a little bit annoying. And I do like the car as a car. I like the design and everything, but it's just so hard to control. And, you know, some people would say this next bit of information is a plus, but it seems like this car doesn't actually smash, like get crushed as easily as some of the other cars. So it kind of brings me out of the immersion that is BeamNG Drive. I know that's kind of a joke in itself saying that, but so for that reason, this gets an F. I feel like it could be a little bit crumplier, especially since it's an 80s supercar. It should fall to pieces very easy. By the way, BeamNG devs, if you're watching this video is pretty much just a joke, so don't get mad. I love your game, obviously, but yeah, so the Bolide goes in the F tier. Now, my next controversial, I don't even know if this even is controversial, but the Pigeon is a god tier vehicle in BeamNG Drive, and I'm gonna tell you why. It's because it's just so darn fun to destroy, man. It can get absolutely eviscerated, and you could rip the entire body of the thing off and it'll still run. And I just use it so much in my videos, and it has so much heart, and there's so many awesome mods for this thing that I gotta put it on the S tier. It is an absolutely legendary vehicle in BeamNG Drive for that reason. So next up, let's pick a little bit more of a regular car here. How about the car that started it all, basically the Grand Marshal? This is a really awesome car. It's big, it's meaty, and it has the best police variant by far. So I think this is a solid B. I mean, it's a legacy vehicle in BeamNG Drive. It's pretty good. The only thing that doesn't get it up is I guess I could use more sports variants, more race-oriented variants. But yeah, still a fantastic vehicle. I have no order that I'm doing these in, and honestly, there's so many cars in BeamNG Drive. I hope I'm not missing any. I mean, I feel like I'm probably gonna get done recording this and I have missed one, so hopefully that doesn't happen. But yeah, this is gonna take a minute. I need to pick up the pace here. All right, so the D series, another pretty much one of the actually, this might be the first vehicle in BeamNG Drive, and there is a ton of mods, a ton of different variants for this truck. So fun to drive. It's just the BeamNG experience. If you want that, this is the car to drive, so that gets a rank. The only reason it doesn't get an S is, I don't know, it's just, it's not always the first vehicle I go to. It's not something that just jumps out of my mind all the time. So yeah, it gets an A rank. Still pretty fantastic vehicle. So next, let's go to a new vehicle, the Alina. I like this thing a lot. But how do I explain this? It's fun to drive, but it's also not, because as far as handling goes, it's tight, but the speed is not there. And you can add rockets or boosters or whatever you want to it, but the fact still remains, it's not exactly a fast vehicle. But it is stylish, that is for sure, but it just doesn't jump out in my mind as a fantastic vehicle. I appreciate for the design and the history, and it goes with the Italy map, but I'm gonna have to put this in the D rank. It just doesn't, it's not one of my favorites, that's for sure, but I mean, there's no objectively bad car in BeamNG Drive. This is all kind of a joke, but again, I'm gonna emphasize again, this video is 90% joke, okay? Just keep that in mind. All right, next up, the cannon. Always fun to use. I don't use it a lot, though, because honestly, I don't have a lot of reasons to use the cannon because it does one thing and it does it very well, but besides that, not a lot of uses out of this thing. So it is cool because you can shoot a car with a freaking cannon, but I just don't have a lot of uses for it. So that, unfortunately, is going to go in the E rank. Still, it is fun to shoot stuff with cannons. By the way, if you want to see more videos with the cannon, I'm sure I could think of something. So let me know down below if you would like to see the cannon in action. Alrighty, the H series. What can I say about this thing? It's basically the D series, only in van form. Still fantastic, but not nearly the amount of customization options, unfortunately, with this thing. And the only, I mean, I don't know if I should factor in mods into this, like people that are modded. I feel like I shouldn't, but excuse me, I'm thinking about, all I can think about is mods with these things. And the off-road H series from Crash Hard is one of the greats, honestly. So I feel like that should bump it up a little bit, but not too far. So I think this is actually going to be our first C rank, just a very middle of the road vehicle. There's nothing wrong with it, but nothing makes it stand out, you know? Alrighty, the Hopper. I love this thing so much. It's just so fun to smash. And there's also a lot of different versions of it. We have the 6x6 Hopper, an amazing mod. And it's basically an old Jeep. I love this thing so much. That is easily a A-tier vehicle right there. So fun to crash. And it's the star of one of my most viewed videos. That's like 20 seconds long. I forget what I call it. Don't sing and play BeamNG Drive at the same time. If you haven't seen that masterpiece, highly recommend you check it out. But yeah, the Hopper, so awesome. Easily A rank. All right, here's kind of a weird one. The Caravan. This kind of is in the same category as the cannon. It's fun to destroy, but I don't have a lot of reason to use it. So it kind of just collects dust in the vehicle selector. So I think that's actually going to go right next to our cannon here. Still, it is fun to destroy. I just don't have a lot of uses for it, unfortunately, but maybe I will in the future. You never know. Alrighty, the 200BX. I think this car resembles its real life counterpart the most, which I believe is the Nissan. This thing's pretty cool. There's a few cool variants in there. Especially if you like to drift. But again, I just don't find myself jumping to this car a lot. And that's unfortunate because it's a really, really well-designed car in the game. But I think I got to put that next to the Alina in the D category because I just don't have I just don't have a lot of fun when I drive this thing. It feels very bland, I guess. And even when you get up into the higher tiers versions of the car, it just feels like it could have more to give, I guess is what I'm saying. So yeah, I think that is a D-class car. Alrighty, the Hiroshi Sunburst. This is one of my favorite cars in BeamNG Drive. And if you've been around my channel long enough, you notice that I use this car in damn near every video at some point, be it the police car or the rally edition. It's so fun to drive. All of the versions of it handle so well. I think this is an S-class vehicle. The Sunburst has been one of my favorite vehicles since they added it way back in like 2014 or something, but it's only gotten better. This thing is awesome. I love it. S-tier, God-tier vehicle. Alrighty, the Pessima, the newer-ish Pessima. Not a lot to say about this vehicle. It's a pretty middle of the road kind of car here. There's some cool versions like this one here, the Stance Nation one, but it's a very, very civilian car, which I guess if you're playing BeamNG for the hardcore simulation, this is a godsend. It's a normal vehicle. It's, it's what you want to see to simulate stuff. But for me, it's just a little bit boring. So I think that's actually going to go right next to the H series. This is the boring car category. There's nothing wrong with them. They're just boring. So that is a C-class kind of vehicle there. I guess, the 200BX should probably go here too, because it's nothing wrong with it. It's just kind of boring. All right, so the tractor trailer here. Again, this is one of those things I don't use very often. It is pretty cool when you do use it, but there's not a lot to it. One of the best parts of this mod is how you can open up the trailer and park cars in it, but I don't find myself needing to do that very often. Again, that kind of goes with people who play BeamNG for the simulation aspect are probably going to use it a lot, but I don't, so that's going to go right next to the Caravan here with the stuff I don't use very often. Oh, man, it's hot in this room. Jeez, I need to get a fan or something. Anyway, next up, let's go to the Roamer. Another fantastic vehicle here. I use this thing a lot, and there's so many different versions of this thing, like I can't think of any of the names, but the off-road ones especially are awesome. They're perfect for off-road trails and stuff like that. And the police version of this is amazing. I use that a lot as well. This is going to go right next to the Grand Marshal here. Another fantastic freaking vehicle. All right, so let's go for something fast now. So I got to go with the SBR4. This is the closest thing we have to a supercar in BeamNG Drive. I would say it actually is a supercar, and we even have the new electric variant, which is so crazy awesome. I guess for downsides, I would say sometimes can be hard to control. Yeah, that's a big problem with this thing. A lot of the time sometimes you get going so fast that it's hard to control. And I'm really not. I think this is pretty common knowledge. I'm not a fan of how boxy it is on the top, and that's the only thing that's keeping it from greatness here. The front is gorgeous, but the backside, not exactly a fan of. It's not my cup of tea. I know a lot of people love it as well, but that is going to go in the A class because it is still a fantastic vehicle. All right, so how about something big now? The city bus. Okay, well, the thing about the city bus is I'm going to factor in all the different versions together. The Hero Edition is a crowd favorite. It's undeniably amazing. But the rest of the buses are pretty boring. It's still cool that we have a big, giant bus in BeamNG Drive. But the bus kind of game mode is not very fleshed out right now. So I feel bad about this, but I'm going to have to put this in the D class. Just because, the Hero Edition really bumps this thing up. But besides that, I really don't have a lot of uses for it. And I don't even know the last time I used a regular bus in BeamNG Drive that wasn't the Hero Edition. So that is a D class. On the other hand, though, we have the T-Series here. And I know T-Series bad. As far as like the whole PewDiePie thing goes, but the actual T-Series in BeamNG Drive is fantastic, especially the Ram Plow Edition. If you need to crush something in BeamNG Drive, this is the vehicle to do it. So that is easily a B-class vehicle right there. The Corvette, another OG vehicle here. I used to use this thing a lot more in the past, but I've kind of find myself not using it because most of them are very slow. It's a good starter car, but it's kind of boring. But you know what? I'm going to bump this one up a little bit just because this thing has been so heavily modded. Any kind of vehicle that you could possibly want, there's a Corvette mod for that. So that is easily another B class vehicle right there. Maybe even an A. Ooh, I don't know. This might be an A. No. I'm going to leave it on the B. I might regret that one. I don't know why I'm getting so into this, guys. It's the dumbest video I've ever made. The Moonhawk, the classic 70s muscle. This thing is awesome. I actually think I like the, what is this thing called? Oh, God. The Barstow, of course, that's what it's called. I actually like the Barstow a lot more, mainly because you can actually split this thing in half and has some awesome race variants. So the Barstow is an A, but I think I gotta give the Moonhawk a solid C. The only thing that doesn't get it from going higher is, I don't know, it just, I just always find myself picking the Barstow over the Moonhawk, unfortunately. Oh man, okay, these are starting to get a little bit crowded here. Okay, so let's go for the old Pessima here. Kind of boring, honestly. It does have a couple really cool race variants, but I just find this car incredibly boring. So that is going to be in the D class, a very boring civilian car. Alrighty, so the Burnside, the classic, the grandpa of BeamNG Drive. This thing's pretty awesome, man. I don't use it as much as I should, but it's really awesome. I just deleted it. Whoops. Anyway, the Burnside is a pretty awesome vehicle. Did I mess something up? No, I didn't. Okay, sweet. Pretty awesome vehicle. It's not, I don't use it a lot just because, I don't know, there's not a lot of mod support for this vehicle. And the drag version is fun, but besides that, I don't really use it that often. So that's a solid C-class vehicle, but it is cool. It gets style points, that's for sure. I have to like line these up in a weird way. Oh, that's weird. And I just realized I left out the Legrand. I apologize, but that kind of is my whole stance on the Legrand. Very boring. Would probably be in the D or E class, but it did have the giant version, so that was pretty cool. But besides that, pretty forgettable car. I forgot to put it in here, so what does that say? All right, so now we got the ETKs. That's all that's left. Now, the ETKK series is a very awesome car. It is one of my favorites in the game, honestly. It just handles so well, and the higher end versions are fantastic to drive. So this is easily a A-class car. Now this is probably my favorite rally car in the game. It rivals even the Sunburst, but that's all that the ETK I series, yes, the I series really has going for. Besides that, it's a pretty civilian car, so this has got to be a B-class vehicle. Now all we have left is the ETK 800 series. Oh my god, I'm forgetting all the names of these cars. I've only been playing this game since 2013. Yeah, it's the 800 series. Another pretty civilian car, but it does have quite a bit of horsepower to it as well. Most of them do, and it's probably the most technologically advanced car in the game, and for that alone, that's pretty cool. I gotta give that a B class. All right, so let's do a little bit of a zoom out here. This is my tier list for BeamNG Drive. Think of it what you will. Still, again, take all of this with a grain of salt. I don't hate the Bolide. It's a fantastic car. But for the sake of this video, and I really thought about it, is probably my least favorite car in BeamNG Drive. And I know that's probably going to be controversial. I know. Downvote me if you must. But here it is, guys. So I know this is a kind of a weird video, but I hope you guys enjoyed. I really do. And maybe I can do something like this in the future. I don't know. But that's gonna about do it for me, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you guys in the next one. See ya.